about my first acting class. So the reason I went to acting class was mainly because when I was a kid, I did a lot of plays. I had a few leads in the plays, and I always considered like public speaking and acting to be my main talent. I haven't been too happy with the corporate world, and I was like, why am I not doing what I do best? Like, how can I make money on what I'm good at doing? So I decided to take an acting class. I'm in Atlanta right now, and there was this, I won't name it, but there essentially is a studio, and there's a couple actors that have classes, and all these actors are actually like pretty successful. Like there was one actor from The Walking Dead who gives classes. He was all booked out, and he's like a regular on The Walking Dead. There's another actress who has been in a lot of things. Like I don't know what she was the main character in like some show about a female president. I can't tell you the name off of my head. And she also was in The Days of Our Lives and like in a lot of soap operas. So very successful. I wouldn't say like they're like very famous, but they are successful in the fact that they're in a lot of TV shows, and you might recognize some of them. My actor has also been in a lot of TV shows. He's always had like side roles, and I guess when they don't have a role, what they do is they get together and they teach acting classes. And thankfully Atlanta is a huge acting hub. I think the top places where they have film, TV shows, and movies is either I think like first LA, then New York, and then Atlanta. So Atlanta, like Stranger Things has been filmed here. There's a lot of things that have been filmed here that you probably don't realize have been filmed here. So I was like, wow, this is a perfect place to take an acting class. And his courses were like very reasonably priced. Like I think it was like only $200 for 2 months worth of courses. And you'd meet once a week for 4 hours. So like very reasonably priced. But unfortunately, I've been like, I quit my job and I have to leave because of black mold in my apartment. So like, I'm not going to be in Atlanta. I don't know where I'm going to be. I still need to figure out things in my life. My life is a little bit crazy right now. So I explained to him on the phone that I just wanted to like explore that part of myself. This is before I quit. And I was like, I don't know what's going to happen at my job. Like they've had so many layoffs. I could get laid off. I might quit. I don't know. But I was like, can I just go to like one class? Like I'll pay you for that one class. Maybe we can work out a deal. And he was just like, honey, just like, I totally feel where you're coming from. He apparently like has a college degree and like had been in the business world as well. So he was like, you know what, come over for a class for free. The first one will be free. And then you can decide from there if you want to continue and do more classes with me. So I was like, okay, that's great. So I was really excited to see him because he was so nice to me over the phone. I go in, and I think it was just awkward from the minute I like walked into the class. So the only acting classes I've ever taken has been like when I was a kid. So like that's not like the professional acting classes. Like it was like, oh, let's pretend we're trees. Like totally nothing like this. And honestly, I didn't know what to expect. I had no expectations. But I walk in, and there's like a guy in front of me who was like just like walking in front of me into the building. We get into the studio. And he's just like, oh, hi, I'm like your instructor, I'm so-and-so. He shakes his hand, and he's just like, oh, are you guys taking this class as a couple? And I was like, oh, no, like he was just walking in front of me. So then like, I don't even remember what he said, but for like 5 minutes, he was trying to explain to me why he thought we were a couple. And that was just like awkward from the get-go. I'm like, it's okay, like why are we still talking about this? We're not dating. Cool, I don't know who this guy is. We like make it into the room where we're gonna have a class, and he was a little disorganized because it was the first class. I think some things weren't working in the building or something. And then he has us introduce ourselves, and we go one by one. And he says, I want you to first say your name, then I want you to tell us what your New Year's resolution is, and then I want you to say something nice or like kind that you did for yourself recently. So I'm like, damn, am I in a therapy session? So anyway, they get to me, and I'm like, oh, like, hi, my name's Jackie. My New Year's resolution is to find a job that I love. I told him, you know, like, I was kind of pressured by my parents to go a more traditional route. We'll talk about that later in a video if you guys really want to know. but I was just like, so now I'm just gonna try to like find these other areas of myself and just like explore that. And I think the kindest thing I've done is like coming to this class, honestly. So then the acting coach got like really jumpy, and then he starts going, oh my god, like my dad, and then he starts screaming at us about his dad. My dad was never around, like screw parents, like I'm doing just fine, look at me, I pay my bills, even though like I might not have a stable job, I'm paying my fucking bills. And he's just like, I hate it when parents do that. But like, it was like overboard, and I was like, yikes, okay, I'm sorry I said anything, I shouldn't have said anything, now this is getting embarrassing. So then he goes around the room, and then he just like, throughout the 4 hours of our class, he would like, we'd do like an exercise, and then he'd randomly bring up his dad and be like, my father is a little piece of shit, he's sick now, but he was a terrible father, never around, let's talk about something else. And I told someone this story, and they were just like, was he in character? And I was like, well, if he was in character, he wasn't telling us he was in character. Like, I don't think he was acting, like this was him. And he was just so jumpy and like really like jumpy. I don't know how to describe it. Like, there was just something weird going on. And then he told us what his New Year's resolution was, and he told us that it was to like stop thinking bad thoughts. He was like, I'm gonna stop thinking bad thoughts. And I'm like, he's like, I just keep on thinking negatively, like all these negative thoughts, but like I'm forcing myself to think positive thoughts. And then next thing I know, he's like screaming at us, positive thoughts, positive thoughts. And we're like, what is going on here? He also brought that same sort of dialogue like several times while we were there. So that was a little weird. Then I don't even know, like the whole class, we never read from a script once, and we just were doing like these weird exercises. So one of the exercises we had to do was, he told us we had to just like walk around the room, and he told us to, he was like, walk towards someone that you're attracted to. He was just like, haha, I don't mean it has to be sexually, like just like go to someone that you are attracted to. So anyway, like everyone's pretty much paired up, and I feel really awkward about like walking towards a guy. But then I was like, oh my god, I feel even more awkward walking towards a girl. Like, I don't know what to do. This is so awkward. So then, it was definitely like outside of my comfort zone. So then, this guy, everyone's paired up except me and this guy. And like the guy just like looks at me, and I like looked down and looked back up, and I was like, okay, you're my partner. Yay. I felt so awkward. And then, he's just like, now that you guys have found your partners, he's like, I want you to stare into each other's eyes for a full minute. So the guy was actually kind of cute. He was really cute. But I'm literally like having this guy stare at me. I'm staring back at him, but like I don't know, but I just get like nervous from eye contact. So he's like staring at me, and I felt like he was like staring into my soul, and I kept on like looking away and like looking away. I'm like, God, this is intense. And then he never broke his gaze at me once. I was the one that kept on breaking the gaze, and I was like, I don't even know what this says about me, but that's so awkward. Then after the minute passed, our acting coach was like, I want you to comment on something that you noticed about the person, whether it be their wardrobe, their earrings, or like whatever. So I always wear like red lipstick. I wear a lot of lip stains. I don't know if guys like that or not. I like it, so I'll continue wearing my red lip stain. But basically this guy was like, lipstick. But the exercise was that I would have to repeat that back and forth for him until the acting coach told us to stop. So he was like, lipstick. And I was like, lipstick. And he was like, lipstick. And I was like, lipstick. And then he was like, lipstick. And then I was like, lipstick. And it was like back and forth. It was so intense, and it was so awkward. So then the other weird part about this whole class was throughout the 4 hours, I think he said like 3 times, like he kept on repeating himself. So he like was just like, the acting coach was just like, I'm never gonna find a girlfriend. He's just like, what woman would want to date me? He's just like, huh. He's like, I've had the worst luck with women. He's like, don't worry, I won't try to date any of you. And he kept on like saying throughout the class, don't worry, I'm not gonna try to date any of you, haha. I'm like, why do you feel the need to say that? So like, I was like telling my friend about this, and she was like, oh, was he in character? I'm like, he didn't tell us he was in character. Like, I think that was him saying that he wasn't gonna date any of us. It was just like uncalled for and really awkward. There also was a stripper in the class. Her name was Star. When she introduced herself, she told us that she had been in the army. She had a college degree. She hated her job, so she decided to be a stripper. I mean, if that's what pays the bills, I guess that's cool, but she had other avenues. I don't know. I mean, I didn't walk in her shoes, but oh. So anyway, that was another weird part, was that, like, you know, one of the ladies was a stripper and her name was Star. The other weird part about the class was our acting coach told us one of the exercises was, he was like, I'm gonna put on this calming music and I want you to meditate to the word sad. And then he like puts on the music and he closes his eyes, like, I want you all to close your eyes. And he's just like, sad, 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 sad. And then he eventually stopped repeating it, and then we were supposed to repeat it to ourselves in our heads. And then once, you know, the minutes flew by and like the song was over, we like opened up our eyes, and then he was just like, does anyone want to share with me what they experienced or like what they visualized when they meditated on the word sad? Literally, this poor woman is bawling her eyes out. She's like, oh my God. He's just like, oh, it seems like you're quite touched by this exercise. Would you care to share your experience with us? Then the woman is like, she's just like, yeah, like, my mom just died, like, she had cancer, and then she just starts bawling, and I'm like, what is up with this class? Then another exercise goes on. He puts on the word anger, and we're supposed to meditate on the word anger. Suddenly some guy's telling us about some family drama he has, and it was just like, I'm like, am I in a therapy session? Am I really in an acting class? Like, where am I? Like, I don't know if this is like normal for an acting class, like, because I've never taken one before. I mean, I will say I had fun and it was entertaining. I just wish I had like a script and like was acting instead of doing like meditating on the word sad or meditating on the word angry, you know. Yeah, it was definitely an interesting class, for sure. What I honestly might have gone again. I don't know if I was sitting here, but I don't want to let it like deter me from like actually exploring that part of myself. I don't know. It was just kind of, I felt silly the whole time. I just really wanted to read off of a script. But yeah, that's the story of my first acting class. Yeah.